What's up, guys? Max here for slurv.com. And first of all, I just want to say congrats to our fearless leader, Eric, for banking his seat into the Toronto final yesterday. He had an awesome Detroit stack, which just happens to be the first stack I talked about in my video yesterday. And he had them paired with Kershaw and Stephen Wright, who is quickly becoming one of my favorite pitchers to watch due to his ungodly knuckleball. So today we have a full 15-game slate, so let's not waste any time and jump right in. What I wanted to do today was not only give you some stacks to target, but also tell you why I am not going to have some of the popular stacks today. Let's go. So the first couple I want to talk about are the Yankees, who are facing Chad Bettis. Chad Bettis, although he plays in one of the greatest ballparks for hitters at home, only gives up a 308 WOBA, 3.78 xFIP, 54.7% ground ball rate, and 22.7% hard hit rate versus lefties. That means that all those lefty popular bats in the Yankee lineup, I am not going to have today. He does give up a little bit of a bump in production for righties, though. 373 WOBA, 48.3% ground ball rate, and almost a 39% hard hit rate. So I think A-Rod and Castro are cheaper. Less people will have them because it's a righty-righty, and I think they have good upside today. Moving down to the Colorado lefties, which I think will be popular tomorrow. Nova gives up a WOBA of 308, 3.98 xFIP, 59.5% ground ball rate, and 34.2% hard hit rate versus lefties. So these high ground ball numbers are just a recipe for disaster if you want to stack up Colorado, in my opinion. I would rather target him with right-handed bats again, as he gives up a higher xFIP and a higher fly ball and hard hit rate versus righties. So Arenado and Story are definitely in play here. And again, will be lower owned, which is what we like. Perdomo's facing Baltimore. He has a 20% K percentage versus righties and a 62% ground ball rate. So here I want to target the lefties like Chris Davis, Pedro Alvarez, and Kim if he's in the lineup, and he should be. Tyler Wilson is definitely not as good as he was against the Red Sox last week in his last start. He has had a BABIP of 260 or lower from both sides of the plate this year. He also gives up a crazy fly ball rate of almost 50% and a 35% hard hit rate versus righties. So I actually love some Padres righties today. They're also really priced up. So I think they're going to be really low owned. They get a park bump going to Camden, and I think that they have really good chance to hit some home runs today. Wilfredo Boscan is not very good. The Pirates are starting him today, and the Giants are probably pretty mad after getting shut down by Locke yesterday, which I actually mentioned could happen in my video yesterday because they played a ton of lefties in their lineup. So today, those lefties are again priced up, but I love them against Boscan, as he has given up pretty bad numbers versus lefties during his minor league and short major league careers. So the next guy I want to move to is the chalk stack, what I assume will be chalk of the Blue Jays today. So we have Patrick Corbin, who I just don't see any possibility of having any chance of containing this Blue Jay lineup, which has been just on fire recently. 39.2% hard hit versus righties and lefties. 52% ground ball rate versus righties could limit some damage. But this is in Toronto, in the Rogers Center, where the infield is very fast with artificial grass. So if those ground balls find some holes and some fly balls get hit very hard, which they tend to do against Corbin, I just think he's not even going to be able to get out of like the second inning tomorrow. So I don't think I'm fading Blue Jays even at high ownerships. When I statcasted them, Donaldson, Saunders, Tulo, Carrera were my favorites versus both of the slider and fastball. And Edwin, although not very good against the slider, just crushes the fastball. So take that for what it's worth and get some Blue Jays into your lineups. So who has a 51.4% fly ball rate versus lefties and gives up a 34.8% hard hit rate, you ask? That would be Ian Kennedy facing the Mets today. The Mets lefties are finally waking up from their summer slumber, and that is unfortunate for Ian Kennedy, I think. I really like Granderson, Conforto, and Walker here, and you can sprinkle in some Cespedes as Kennedy does not have much better numbers against righties. Fly ball pitchers tend to limit damage, though, due to high amount of fly ball outs against them. So don't go crazy with stacking up the Mets here. But I don't mind them as one-offs, as I don't expect them to be popular today. So yeah, hey guys, Clay Buchholz is back in our lives. He of a 44.9% fly ball rate and 37.6 hard hit rate versus lefties. Unfortunately, he's pretty good against righties, and White Sox just don't have many good lefty bats. But I just wanted to mention that Melky's pretty cheap, and Eaton is extremely expensive, but both have high upside in this matchup. Blake Snell is actually has some really impressive minor league numbers and is making a second start today. Unfortunately, he's making that second start in Cleveland, where if you listen to our live chat yesterday, you know that there's some shady stuff that goes on in Cleveland, and it seems like Cleveland is just one of the best offenses at home while being one of the worst on the road. They're also pretty good against lefties, as they showed yesterday against Drew Smiley. I really like some Cleveland righties here, if you haven't gotten that from all of the mentions that I made so far. So yeah, I think even though Blake Snell is going to be a good major league pitcher, Cleveland righties could go off here. Descalfani is somebody else who's going to be a good pitcher. However, he's just returning from an injury, and he's just not quite back to his old ways yet. His old ways, however, still gave up way too much hard contact versus left-handed batters. So I like the Rangers today at home to put up some runs. As usual, you can target guys like Odor, Mazzara, Chu. All these guys have a very good upside. Oh, Moreland as well. My model loves Mitch Moreland tomorrow or today. I also want to mention that they're really reasonable. So as far as their price on DraftKings, I love a stack here coupled with two high upside pitchers. Last but not least, I really like the Oakland lefties versus Slippin' Jimmy Nelson. This guy is the same pitcher every year. He is pretty good against righties, not great, but he's really, really bad against lefties. Unfortunately, Oakland is still missing Josh Reddick, who would be my favorite target today. But we can go after Slippin' Jimmy with Burns, Crisp, and Vogt at the top of the order for some base upside. All right, guys, as usual, I will have more thoughts as well as the other experts in chat today. So stop by, talk to us, and gain some awesome knowledge. I will see you all tomorrow. Later.